Let's have a talk, let's have a chat, talking about a little this and that. Hello and welcome to another episode of This and That. I am your host, Mary Easterling, and today we are going to do episode number 21 for the Big Reveal 2 Under the Hood, called Basket Visions. But before we begin to listen to any other episodes of the Big Reveal 2 Under the Hood, Veritas the Quest, the Big Reveal, or anything else from This and That, go to talkingaboutthисandthat.wordpress.com and click on the podcast link. Basket Visions is by Bob Neumann. This will be featured on our blog page. Each blog has a read more link, which when you click it will take you to the article. Each article has the audio link, which opens in a separate tab so you can listen while you look. Basket Visions is written February 1998. And I want you to listen up because it's really interesting. Bob writes, there are times when I get very vivid and clear images that pertain to a specific issue, yet they do not seem to qualify as a vision because of their length or the fact that I get no solid witness in my spirit. I know it is from the most Holy Spirit, but can be quite off the wall and out of nowhere. That is where, quote-unquote, these were until last night when it all tied together. Please bear with me a minute while I stumble through this. Full stop. Apparently, he was getting what you would call snippets or breadcrumbs, bits of a picture. And God will do this when he's working and showing someone who's walking in the prophetic something that's going on in real time that he's doing, where he has something to say. This may qualify as one of those. So, Bob writes, a week ago I was watching CNN have a town meeting to build up popular support for military action against Saddam Hussein. Secretary of Defense Cohen kept repeating the phrase, quote-unquote, contain Saddam Hussein, unquote. And those, quote-unquote, red flags suddenly rose up in my spirit. And out of nowhere, I saw this straw basket, sort of roundish, and had a simple lid. And without warning, it sort of moved. There was something in it. And in my spirit, I saw a huge king cobra, and I knew it was in the basket. And that was it. The comparison of our attempting to contain Saddam was like keeping one extremely large and dangerous snake in a straw basket. Obvious. And where the efforts of Mr. Anin appeared to succeed, I again saw the basket sitting on the floor in a room crowded with toddlers. And I had the impression that it was a real big basket. Yesterday, I heard Senator Trent Locke complain about the agreement with Saddam, and he kept using the term, quote-unquote, appeasement. Again, I saw the basket in the room with a lot of, quote-unquote, rugrats, children who were into everything but cannot be accountable. And my first thought was that was a big basket with one big snake. How do you appease it? Feed it. And what could you feed Saddam that would keep him, quote-unquote, appeased? Feed him a child? Bob wrote that. I didn't say it. Bob wrote that. Feed him a child? And then I watched the sides of the basket undulate as the snake moved inside. My second thought was, that's one damn big snake. He won't stay long in that basket. Bob's choice of words, not mine. All this seemed pretty straightforward, and I felt no urge to write it down. And then last night, in a vision, I saw two huge snakes. One was the cobra, raised up and swaying. The second was a huge constrictor, quietly lying on a perch. And the Lord said, what is the difference between the two? And I waited, thinking about them. And suddenly I saw a man, quote-unquote, charming the cobra, swaying in rhythm with the cobra, but at a distance. Next I saw a dancing girl with a snake draped over her shoulders and around her body. She was dressed up as a belly dancer, and her moves were typically provocative. And I heard clearly this statement, while the world keeps the cobra at a respectful distance, the church dances with the serpent. Hard word, but true, Selah. Bob in Miami. Now, the dancing girl snake is not the cobra. The second snake is a constrictor, a boa constrictor. A boa constrictor is an interesting snake because it does not necessarily envenomate you. But beware of playing within its body. The body wall of this snake is powerfully equipped to squeeze. Its skill is to trap you and to begin to squeeze. You cannot intake breath once you exhale because of the strength of your lungs, or indeed any animal's lungs, is insufficient to the quote-unquote squeeze of the snake. Why is this important? Things can live a while without food, a little less time without water, but without air, death is swift, for the brain just shuts down, putting you to sleep. Now, you will not fight to breathe, and indeed you will sleep into your coma and death. The constrictor will wait till your heart simply stops, and then it relaxes its hold and begins to ingest you head first. Should you suddenly revive and attempt to intake air, you will die from the juices of the snake's quote-unquote belly. It will simply digest you until you are a simply expellable mass. This is the same idea of the serpent of old. He will squeeze until the breath of God is gone out of you and then swallow you down as you slumber. The deaf adder is uncharmable, and Saddam is long captured and gone. Remember, that was 1998. This 2025, folks. There's a new boa. We call him POTUS. Have you felt the squeeze play he's been giving us lately? But the constrictor continues unchallenged until the king comes. Are you dancing with the serpent, with wolves, or with the king of glory? For the devil goes about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Your adversary, the serpent of old, the devil, goes about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. That idea of devour means to swallow down whole, to digest you from within and drink you down. And yet, under the big reveal, too, under the hood, we have gone into the lie in the church. We have gone into the Neumann's exposés of the serpent squeeze play. Go listen for yourself. Talking about this and that.wordpress.com, the big reveal 2 under the hood on the podcast page, and Bob Neumann stuff in our blog. And that will do it for this episode of This and That. Until then,